Hey guys, doesn't it feel great that you just know that your team is going to win today? That's the change that Erik Ten Hag is bringing to Manchester United. You remember the days of Sir Alex Ferguson, that no matter who we played, we just felt and we just knew before the game that we were going to win. That's the culture he's bringing back again, that winning mentality. So we have to take into consideration that this is the hardest job in the world because he is inheriting 10 years of disaster. And quickly, I'm going to go into the reasons why I think he is doing so good at Manchester United. And even though we haven't won a title yet, you can already see the progress. So the first thing is the way he handled Maguire. Every coach that comes in tries to make him the captain. I'm not sure why, even though he's so shit. I think there's something in his contract that says like after 50 games, he has to be the captain. I wouldn't doubt Ed Woodward making a contract like that. So that's the only explanation I have for why he's always captain. So maybe when Ten Hag found out about this, he said, you know what, I'm just going to bench Maguire, and that way I can have a new captain. And that's exactly what he did. Bruno is a real captain now. Maguire is sitting on the bench, and he's probably going to be sold on the summer. So that's amazing. I love that he's able to recognize shit players and get them out of the club. I'm sure he's going to do that. And it's amazing how he handled the whole situation because the World Cup was coming in. The English media is going to pressure him to put Maguire always because of the World Cup, but he was still able to handle all that pressure based on the results he's getting with Varane and Lisandro Martinez, which are the main guys in our defense. The next point is the situation with Cristiano Ronaldo. This is not something that any manager can do. He did it. It's something that Sir Alex Ferguson always said. No player is beyond the club. So if Cristiano Ronaldo is missing the goals, he could be the legend of the game, but if you're missing the goals, you have to go to the bench. And the whole interview he did and the whole drama, and you remember last year how Manchester United was full of dramas and leaks and dressing room leaks, and we were just a laughing stock. So Ten Hag came in and he handled the situation very well. Another manager would have pooped his pants with the Cristiano Ronaldo situation, but not this guy. This guy has vibes from Sir Alex Ferguson, being able to take legendary players like Beckham, Van Nistelrooy, Roy Keane, when they were trying to go beyond the club. So, as I said before, no player is bigger than the club. That is something Sir Alex Ferguson said, and that is something that Ten Hag is actually doing. So, that's amazing. The next item in the list is the team rotation. Last year, if you remember, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer always put the same players. It doesn't matter if you play well or you play bad. He always used to use the same players. And what happens is that players get burned and the team as a whole is not energized. But Erik Ten Hag, as you can clearly see, he's rotating the team very well. And he doesn't even have all the resources. Like, he doesn't have world-class players in each position like Manchester City does. But he's still using the players that he had from last year to rotate. And he's rotating them very well. Even putting Luke Shaw as a center back and him performing that well is amazing. So that's great for Erik Ten Hag and being able to rotate the players. It also avoids injuries, you know. Also, the next item is that now there's like a respect to the manager. This is something we didn't have before. With Sir Alex Ferguson, he was the boss. When Mourinho came in, I thought that we were bringing in another boss. But as you can see, his fallout with Pogba made him get fired, got him sacked, and Pogba remained. So you can clearly see that he wasn't really the boss. And that's not something that can happen at Manchester United. It cannot be that a player is bigger than the manager. That's just, it doesn't work at Manchester United like that. Even with Cristiano Ronaldo, you could see how big of a player he is, but he still had to go. So Erik Ten Hag is imposing respect. Rashford, you were late to the team meeting. You're not gonna go and play as starting in the team. You're gonna be benched. So he's imposing respect. He's imposing discipline. This is something we haven't seen since Sir Alex Ferguson. Also, with that salary cap that he's introducing, that no player can have more than 200,000 pounds a week. It's a max cap. I think it's a great idea. I'm pretty sure there are loopholes, like if you win titles, you get extra bonus or whatever. But I think it's a great idea not to have this players 18, 20, 22 years old having $300,000 a week salary. It makes no sense. You have to be focused on the team and only the team. You're here to do a job, not to get rich. So he's changing the culture. Then the next item is being able to change the in-game tactics and close them out. For example, last year, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, when he had to do changes, he waited the last 2 minutes of the game to maybe put in Donny van de Beek or somebody else. Erik Ten Hag doesn't do that. He sees the opponent team change tactically, and he does the change. For example, if we're winning 1-0 and the other team is attacking too much because we're already tired, he changes Eriksen and brings in Fred to energize the team, and it works out. It's something that Ole really didn't do. He waited like the last 5 minutes to do a change. So it feels great to have a coach that can do in-game tactics and change the game or see out the game, close the game, maybe take an attacker out and bring in a defense. In this case, normally he brings in Maguire at the end to close in games for the headers. And I think it's great that he has that capacity to do in-game tactics. The next item is the culture change and the high standards. He always talks about high standards. He always says that you cannot play a game 99%. You have to give your 100%. He's changing the whole culture. In his interview, he even says that he's changing the mentality of even the people who cook the food at Old Trafford or at Carrington, because even they now have the winning mentality. Every single person in Manchester United now has that winning mentality. So he has brought back that culture. And he says that, how did he bring it back? Or, I mean, he hasn't brought it 100% back yet, but we can see a progress. So he said, what is this club built upon? It's built upon mostly the late years by Sir Alex Ferguson and his winning mentality. So he's bringing that back, and he's basing his philosophy around that mentality. Another thing he has done is competition for places. Before, we didn't have competition for places. It's just Rashi is always going to play, Maguire is always going to play, Luke Shaw is always going to play, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is always going to play, but we had Dalot, who never played, and we know he's much better than Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Now we have competition for places, and it's a healthy competition, because the more competition for places you have is going to keep the players on toe to always perform. Never satisfy themselves, because if you satisfy yourself and you start underperforming, the guy that is competing with you is going to come in. So it's a very healthy situation, and he always rotates. It's not only that if you play bad, you're going to come out and then the other one is going to come. No, you can play good, but he might still bring you out so that you don't get burned and everybody is in good physical condition. The next item I have is that he handles the press very well. Normally, the press always attacks the Manchester United coach. But this guy, Erik Ten Hag, he handles the press so well. I think they just love him. The way he handles and talks. And, for example, if you're not putting Maguire as in your starting lineup before the World Cup, the English press is just going to harass you. Like, well, why is he not playing? He's $80 million euros defender. And his answer is that he is ill. He has a knock. I guess he just invents injuries so that the press doesn't pressure him, and that's amazing. I think he handles the press very well. Also, when they ask him like about tactics in game, his answers are so clever. Tactically speaking, his answers are so clever. When you compare that to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Ole never said any tactical stuff on his interviews. It just pissed me off. He was just always smiling, and that's it. This guy, Erik Ten Hag, he talks football. Now, the next item I have is that he has a stable dressing room. Before, I believe there was like envy, and it was like, you lose the ball, giving me a pass, so I'm just gonna do like and be angry that the pass was bad. Now, if you give me a bad pass, I'm gonna run for you, and I'm gonna try and recover the ball because of your bad pass. Now we're actually a team. He has made the dressing room a stable dressing room. They fight for each other. We didn't have that before. Before it was a blaming game. Now it's a saving game. We save each other. We fight for each other. It's a completely different dressing room now. And the other day, Luke Shaw said that he has never been in such a stable dressing room and happy dressing room and family dressing room in his Manchester United career as of until now. And he's been here for a lot of years. The next item is that he's also taking charge of the under 21s and under 18s and of the whole academy. That doesn't mean that he's going to be every day with them training, but that does mean that he's making the calls to who gets to play, how he wants them to play, what position he wants them to play, and he's bringing that philosophy to the whole academy. And that's amazing, because when a first team or senior player gets injured, we needed an emergency backup. You can bring players from the academy, but you have to bring somebody that knows the system. So it's amazing that he's training everybody from all the levels. And that's something that Pep Guardiola also does at Manchester City. And it's also something that Sir Alex Ferguson did also. Like, our whole philosophy from the academy up to the senior players was all based on the same philosophy, the same attacking style, the same defending style. And this is something that we've been missing for so many years. We kept hiring different coaches and kept bringing different players with different styles, and there was not a philosophy for like the next 10 years, so that it doesn't matter what manager you bring, you still brought the right players for the right philosophy. So I think he's doing a great job with the academy, and it's only going to get better and better. I'm sure that a lot of new kids are going to come out of that academy, and they're going to be superstars. And we're already seeing that with Garnacho. And then the final item I have is that this guy brings the best out of each of his players. You can see how Rashford is playing now versus how he was playing last year. He's just bringing the best out of everybody. If you see the United performance, pretty much 9 out of 11 players always have an amazing performance. And that's due to Erik Ten Hag. He's just bringing the best out of the players, the best qualities, and he knows which player lacks which ability. So he gives specific individual training to those players. Now, for example, Sancho is not even playing. He's in another country. Well, he's back in Manchester now, but he was sent to Holland to train specifically what he was lacking. And the same thing with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. While the World Cup was on, he was training specifically the things that he lacks, which was his attacking side of football. And you can clearly see that Aaron Wan-Bissaka is attacking so much better now. So the things that Erik Ten Hag is bringing to Manchester United are amazing. I don't want to get ahead of time and jinx it or whatever, but this is amazing. It feels great to have suffered for the past 10 years and to finally have joy as a Manchester United fan is amazing. And I just hope this continues. I hope we win a lot of titles. I mean, I would say we might win something this year, but not the Premier League. We're still far away from it. I'm not going to explain why in this video, but we are very close on the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup and maybe the Europa League. So we'll see next year. Maybe we can win the Premier League if the new owners back Erik Ten Hag and he continues working the way he's doing. Thank you so much. If you like the video, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.